They do look good actually, they're growing on me.
They do, don't they? Hello and welcome to the Backroads and welcome back to Project 944. Now today we're going to be attempting something which is a bit out of the ordinary for us, I suppose. It's much more cosmetic than it is mechanical. We're going to be trying to apply some gauge bezels to the 944 today. Now if you don't know what those are, essentially it's the ring that goes on the inside of the dials on your dash. So obviously 944s don't come with them from factory, and there's only a couple of companies that actually make them. Ours have come in silver. Not too sure if I actually like the silver or not, so we're going to try it and see what they look like in the car. I'll maybe live with it for a month or two, see if it still, maybe if it grows on me. But really what I wanted to do was actually paint them like a gloss black so that it could replicate the kind of look from the 930 and 964 era 911s, where you've got that slight lip, you know, that kind of raised dash look. But we'll see what happens. I'll show you what we're dealing with and then we'll give it a go. Okay, so these are our gauge bezels. So as you can see, we've got a couple of different sizes. We've got slightly smaller ones, slightly bigger ones for the center dials. Essentially what happens is these get inserted into the actual dash top. You can see that they have got like a lip here. And then what you do is you then basically bend the back side of this up so it then hooks onto the rear of the panel. So really it should actually be a fairly easy thing. Getting the dash out doesn't seem too complex. We don't know if we need to get the wheel out, we'll see. Hopefully not, because I'd rather keep all the wheel on if we can. The good news is that our dash doesn't have any screws in it anyway, so it all just sort of comes out, that we discovered.
We have 3 screws to take out.
We have 3 screws to take out.
There should be at least 7, I think.
7, 8 probably. So all good. Let's try and see if we can install these in some sort of meaningful time.
Bring screwdrivers.
You bring screwdrivers!
Take.
Here I was checking bloody Instagram, meant to be filming a video. Right, awesome. So we have some screwdrivers to be able to use. You said that they were Phillips, didn't you? I think.
I do believe so, sir.
So we've got a few stubby ones here. Probably that's going to be most handy today because we have to get underneath. Or you never know, we might need a long one because we need to be able to get that extra leverage. So we'll find out. But I think for now, Jared may be able to actually get in there, but there's a couple of screw points up here. I think 3 up the top here. And there's also one here. You may have to zoom in for that, apologies.
I'll come through the other way.
Okay.
There's one there.
Yeah.
I believe there's one.
And then there's one there.
I think there should be another one.
And then there's one there.
There's 2 on either side, I think.
Yeah. So all in all, not too much to have to take out.
That's where they're meant to be. There are none over there.
No, there's none at all.
Is there another screw up top?
Don't think so. Lovely.
Cracks dash.
That's actually not too bad. That's quite nice that there's a seal. Is that meant to go all the way under though?
Probably.
Yeah, maybe. I'm not sure.
And it's brown.
It's brown!
You can't really see in this light.
I know.
It's brown.
Because people are like, oh, have you got the black interior? I've got the multicoloured interior. So it must then be, there's 4 screws either side.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can get those, and just trust me that there's 2 over here as well. That's bloody easy, isn't it?
And there's another thing we're going to try to look at here, isn't it?
Oh yeah, so our odometer is stuck on 149.
Liam's been rolling his clock back.
Yeah, definitely. Fortunately, it hasn't really driven much since that broke. Literally, maybe 100 miles.
Next,
so,
when you see this on the market by Bonhams or collecting cars, just know it's been rolled back and it's actually got 250,000 miles on it.
It wouldn't surprise me. We were kind of like working out what we wanted to actually film today, and the gauge bezels turned up yesterday. So we thought, well, let's have a nice simple, he says, simple fix to do, essentially. And ow.
I definitely think you're going to have to do those back. I think looking at
that's what I was saying.
It's going to look sketch silver.
I think it's going to look a bit out of place. I mean, you've got this. You've now got this to go with it.
Yeah, but that, I won't admit, I don't like that.
I do think that they will need to be sprayed black, I will be honest, but that may not be everyone's cup of tea. So, we'll see.
It's got to be your cup of tea, Liam.
Well, that's it, isn't it? It's got to be right, and I really don't know if it's going to look right in silver, but I wanted gauge bezels regardless because I think they do add something.
This feels vintage 911, vintage Porsche.
Really?
It's the classic dials, man. It's just a simple dial.
That's interesting you say that because I would have thought you had said that for the other one.
Nah.
Reminds me that there's some sort of an earth down here that I got an electric shock off while I was taking it off down there.
I'm going to not do that.
You know what? I'm going to take a picture of it.
No, don't take a picture. No.
Okay, all right, we'll take the wheel off. Yeah, it's all right. It's not really too much out of the way. It's just we'd rather have kept it on, but oh well, that's fine. It's not an issue. It is worth mentioning that obviously the process of taking off a wheel is going to be different per car. This is not a stock 944 wheel, so mine will be very much different to yours. I mean, yours is not going to have these. I wouldn't think, at least. I mean, they might do. I don't know what a stock, what the kind of stock 944 wheel has in terms of securing points, but that's the one with like the elongated, like Porsche horn button, whereas ours is completely different. So I actually got that bezel from Design 911 as well. Funny enough. So we just can't. I bought it just purely because it has just a little bit. It's just tiny little finishing touches that matter on cars. So, and the other one was actually a genuine Momo Porsche horn button, but the thing is the colours were just all faded, so it didn't quite look right. So we went for that one instead, which is leather. As you can kind of see in there, if I can try and go back a bit and zoom right in, and maybe we can try and get it to focus. What do you reckon it's going to be?
I think it might be like a 22 or something.
Really?
Yeah.
You think it's going to be that big?
I only go to 24 and it's jumped to 27. Oh.
Oh.
Okay. Right.
Right. Well.
But that wheel's just.
Okay. Oh, there we go. Nice, well done.
Strength.
Bloody hell, mate. Come back, please. Thank you. Lovely. That was easier than expected, actually.
It's a nice little boss kit on there. And here we have
Genuine Momo. Genuine
baby.
Momo.
Momo BB.
Momo BB. Right, so does this come out nicely now?
No.
So it's got to be plugged into something shortly. Oh yeah, we've got loads of loom to take off.
Oh wow, what a great system. That's a great system. I just don't want to break anything, because no doubt if I break any sort of loom, I've then got £1,000 to pay for.
I'm going to try to see if I can get you from the other side. Here we go.
Yeah, but then you're not going to be able to hear what I'm saying.
That's fine. We don't need to hear you. Goodbye.
So what is going on here? Oh, I see. I'm wondering if that's for the lights, because they seem like reflectors.
Oh yeah, maybe.
Well, no, because the lights are like here, aren't they?
I think so, yeah.
Oh no, it does go there. Yep, they are reflectors.
That's cool.
So why would they do that? So why wouldn't they backlight the panel?
Volkswagen.
Yeah. Now, the part that I don't know about is I don't know if we need to remove the actual cluster to get to the back, which I imagine we do. Fortunately, it seems quite easy doing this. I mean, I was going to be a bit worried that this was going to be overwhelming and not really knowing what to do, although we've got to be careful of that. We'll work out whether we're actually meant to be doing this or not. But to be, like I said, we kind of like doing this because it teaches us what we're actually more about the car.
Yeah.
Once you've done it once, I think you're happy to do it multiple times.
I've got to take the cluster out of the MR2.
What for?
The swap.
Oh, of course.
We've got to put the boost gauge in, baby.
Got to put the boost gauge in. Holy moly! Wow.
This is where you've ruined your all the electronics with statics.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe I should have been using gloves, to be honest. What a cool little system. Well, I found our lights here. We badly need to upgrade these because they are shockingly bad. Like really, really bad. Maybe if we can try and find a way of like maybe converting them to warm LEDs, not cold LEDs, might help. Means that they won't blow either, which would be good. But all in all, this has been fairly easy so far. One thing we are going to try and do, if it's not too much effort, is we're going to see what cogs in the odometer are broken so we know which ones to replace to get that back working again. But just saying, how much brighter do those dials look when they're out of the car? They're like really good. This is what we wanted really. So I'm going to put this somewhere safe down there. So I think one thing, it's a shame we don't have any compressed air because I'd like to try and blow out all the dust from that. But that's not the end of the world. So that is our gauge pod out, which is nice. So now what we need to do is we need to find a way of getting here.
I feel like we should take the plastic off, if we can, or the glass.
Well, this is what I'm
Is
wondering.
that glass or plastic? It looks plastic.
It's plastic,
Yeah.
But I'm wondering if you're meant to. I'm wondering if they're meant to be sealed.
Yeah, that would make sense. I feel like it's probably glued in. Actually, no, it looks clipped. I can see clips on it.
I don't know about that one. I mean, it might have been attacked before, but it looks like there's been glue applied. So I'm wondering if it is meant to be glued and it's been played with. I think the first thing I'm going to do is try and find a way of cleaning this up because it is quite dusty inside. And if we've got it out, we might as well try and clean it up a bit. So we'll go over to the workbench and just clean up the plastics. So while we're out of the car, I actually wanted to show you kind of what I mean. So as you can see here, on the dials, on classic 911s, they have that kind of lip. And that's kind of what I want to go for with the 944 because the dials on like older 911s and 964 and the, you know, G series cars have got really nice sort of taste to them, really nice feel. So that's why I wondered if we should paint them black, because then it matches the dash and then it's also kind of got like a nice bezel around it, so it kind of imitates what a 911 has. So I don't know really, we'll see. Maybe it'll grow on me, but at the moment I think that the silver might be a bit too much, but we'll see. And if they are, we can always paint them. We'll just have to do it properly, so we'll give it a go. So just as a sort of little test, I've put one in there loosely. So not sure. I think it definitely adds that little something. Whether it's too much being chrome, I don't know. We'll put it in the car and I'll live with it for a couple of months and see how I feel about it. But I do get the feeling that they may go black. One thing that we have just realised, which I'm not going to ridicule them immediately because I don't know if we're just missing a part. If you've had your cluster out and it's like pretty good condition, please correct us in the comment section below. We're wondering why there was tin foil on the underside of the dash. That is because I presumed that the dials were backlit by the bulbs and that they were just weak and they weren't particularly great. That isn't the case. What's actually the case is the bulbs sit in these housings here. There are then slots and the light travels through the plastic and gets sent up through slots in front of the dials, not behind. So I wondered why like our lighting on the dashes was so bad at night. Well, that's the reason why, and I suppose that the foil, if it's not factory, has been put there so it reflects more light down the channel. So it now makes sense, but I just can't imagine Porsche doing that. There's got to be something missing, surely. I don't know. So what I'm just going to do is I've got some compressed air here. I'm just going to blow out. I think we should be pretty much nearly ready to go in terms of putting the new dials in. Don't know what to do about the glass yet. We'll make a decision on that in a moment because we do really need to have the glass out in order for us to get the final bigger bezels in. So we'll see. So what we're doing at the moment is we're just applying a little bit of, well, overkill, completely overkill, but some Gorilla Gorilla Tape.
Not sponsored.
Not hashtag not sponsored.
I am using this extensively for the MR2 engine build though to cover up holes.
So just putting a little bit on in order to just make these be a little bit more secured. And then what we'll do is at a later date we'll actually come back and try and do this properly, because I mean, yeah, fair enough that it's worked to a certain extent, but really this needs to be sorted out properly, because the lighting at night on the dash is absolutely terrible. Okay, so we're now on to the part where we're installing our gauge bezels. Interestingly, they seem to... There we go, nice. Okay, so the centre ones are actually fine. I don't think these are going to be an issue. The ones at the side, however, are a little bit loose. So to install these, particularly the big centre ones, I just had to basically force it in slightly. Ever so slightly made the ring oval, but as soon as you put it in, you can just warp it back into place and it's fine. So let's just see how that looks at the moment. It's growing on me. Maybe. We'll see. I still do think they need to be black, and I think Jared agrees. I do think they need to be black, but for a very cheap and nice little mod, I can't knock this really, because they do actually really... The problem with the 944 is that even though that's an S2, so it's pretty much top end of the range for the 944, it still doesn't feel quite as premium as a 911. Now, understandably, they want the 911 to have better materials because it's a higher end car. It's top of the range for Porsche. It's just, I feel that it's a shame that the 911 got all those lovely metal and aluminium dials and the 944 was left with some plastic ones. So adding little trim pieces like this might actually make a big difference to the car feels. Again, don't know about the chrome, we'll see, but I gotta say I'm for it. I think adding these so far has just given the dash a little bit more character. There we go. All added. Do I like it? Yes. I like the concept of it. I like the fact that there's now a raised edge around the dials. Do I like the silver? Don't know. We'll find out. But to be honest, it's quite an easy fix. Literally, you pop them in, and because we may take them out again, I haven't tacked it all the right way round, but I've just done it in certain areas so that we can lift it off again if we do want to paint them black, pretty much. But all in all, pretty good. So let's go install it back into the car. One thing we have done as well is we've replaced all three bulbs with modern Lucas equivalents. Stole these from the rack over there, so apologies Luke, I'll pay you back.
They are for reference. They are LLB 501. These little boys.
So hopefully, because they're a more modern bulb compared to what was in there originally, perhaps they might be a little bit brighter, hopefully. Because any little helps really. So we'll try and, once we're getting in the car, I'll actually turn on the lights and see if it has made any difference. The one thing I will say is the light adjuster button on the car as well has fallen behind the dash. So it may be that it's actually in its lowest setting and we don't know. So if we can, while we're in there, we'll try and get that out as well.
I didn't know you didn't have that button.
So just pretty much doing the reverse of what we did. Installation time. So first thing we're going to do is reapply all of these, because I'm pretty sure, unfortunately, remember where they're meant to go. We do that one like so. Before we put it all back together, let's okay, well, that's good. Does that seem better to you?
I've never seen them illuminated before, so I can't comment.
Okay, so that's lowest. That's highest.
That is shocking.
Yeah.
Wow.
They're not good. But only time will tell if that's an improvement. I really think that we should go ahead and do an LED replacement on that at some point and actually try and find a way of illuminating them correctly. But for now, but in all honesty, that is better by quite some margin, actually. Yeah, it is. Okay, good. Back in.
They do look good, actually. They're growing on me.
They do, don't they? I think they'll. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. It's getting there. It's getting there. We'll see what happens. Hopefully that's right. Oh God! Come on, on you go. Like that. That'll do. And that goes in there. That goes back on there. And then all we need to do now is put the screws for the wheel back in, and then we're done. Okay, so everything is now installed. As you can see, it's kind of growing on me. It does look pretty cool. I mean, it certainly stands out more than what the black was, that's for sure. So, you know what? I'm actually quite impressed. Sort of from that position, looks quite nice. And then if we super quickly turn those on, yeah, I mean, it's not amazing or amazingly better, but it's certainly an improvement, that's for sure. So, all in all, I actually think that's a pretty good mod. So, I'll put a link in the description to the ones I purchased if you want them. I don't think I know of many other companies that actually provide gauge bezels, but in all honesty, the silver's growing on me. I mean, yeah, silver is growing on me now, so maybe we'll keep them. We'll see. Maybe they'll grow on me. But yeah, I'm pretty proud of that, really. Nice, easy job. Probably if you weren't filming, 40-minute job max, so not too bad. Well, that's it for today's video. We hope you enjoyed. If you did, please do leave a like below. Comment on a couple of things, the questions that we had, if you know, particularly that of the reflection and that kind of stuff, because ideally, I think we're going to try and find a way of improving that light over time. Maybe we'll change it to like an LED conversion, make them stronger. But it certainly seems a bit of an odd way to illuminate some dashes. But regardless, hope you enjoyed. If you have any questions about what we've used in today's video, please put them in the comments section below, and subscribe if you are new around here for more Project 944 content. Until next time, guys, take care.